I'm good, Parlé. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. This is dope. I'm excited to be here.
I'm
I,
excited to speak to you finally.
yeah. I saw a couple of my DJ folks had done this, so I'm happy to be in their company.
Yeah, always. So this is Laura, aka the Sound Sommelier, here with Parlé. What's your earliest memory of hip hop?
Earliest memory hip hop would probably be watching Yo MTV Raps at like my cousin's house or something. We didn't have cable, but whenever I would do sleepovers, or another cousin would have all the sports magazines in the corner.
Nice. Do you remember any of like the earliest videos that you saw on there?
I still think he's the
Hmm.
coolest dude ever. And I don't even know. Yeah, I guess Ed Lover and Dr. Dre had to have been on it by then. But I just remember being like, what is this? Because I didn't have cable. So anytime I got a chance to see
Right.
anything hip hop related, I wanted it.
Yeah. What are some of the earliest records you recall hearing in your home as a child growing up in
As a
DC?
child in DC, all types of records. Obviously, like the classics like Marvin Gaye or Stevie, Isaac Hayes. But probably like also like Haitian records like Kassav or South African records like Mary McKeeva or even who was it,
Nice.
like Paul Simon, like anybody. Like my mom's had a real wide selection of whatever she would play. And when
Parlay, were either of your oh, sorry, you're breaking up. Are either of your parents South African?
no, we're Haitian, both sides of the
Oh, okay.
family. It's just she just had a real like Bob Marley to like. I mean, she just listened to everything. My mom was real heavy into the music scene.
Nice.
I didn't even know it at the
When
time.
did you were just like she just listens to good stuff.
Yeah, I just thought everybody
Uh,
had like a lot of records in their house.
Fair. When did you get your hands on your first pair of turntables?
Turntable. That would be the senior year of high school, where I took all
Hmm.
my graduation money. I think the party was on Friday, so Saturday morning by 9 a.m. I was on 95 North, headed to Jamaica, Queens, and I went straight to
Nice.
Music Factory and I bought the cheapest pair of turntables and mixer I could buy.
Did you have friends that had them too, or like how did you first
Nah,
get involved with that?
I've been DJing with like Sony Discmans and tape players for like little house parties, and
Hmm.
everybody I would see on TV had turntables. So I just asked the guy at Music Factory, "What do I get?" And he said, "Well, you don't have enough money to get the real thing." So I bought the cheapest pair, and I just kind of like practice every day till I figured it out.
Nice. Can you recall your first paid gig?
I had like a family friend who I did like a birthday party for her kid, and
Hmm.
that check actually bounced. So
Oh,
technically, my first gig was in college, freshman.
all right. Nice.
Of it.
So you worked for record labels like Universal, Geffen, and Koch. Sorry.
Yeah, Koch, MCA,
Uh,
Geffen.
what led to your decision to pursue a career in the music industry?
Jerk. And I thought I just doubled my chances of success if I knew how to talk their language and talk my language.
Nice. So you started your Sampleology mixtape series in 2007. Where did you come up with the idea for that series?
The sample mixes, probably from around 2007. I think I was just getting a little disillusioned with rap and where it was going,
Hmm.
and I was just kind of bored with it. So I just started going backwards and doing a lot of digging, and I thought that got me more excited listening to records from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So why not share that excitement too? And that's basically how it started. And
Had you
people kind
always
of liked
been
it.
big into samples?
I mean, I liked that I would that hip hop like kind of taught me samples without even me knowing. So I would hear old school sets and be like, "Oh, that's where that comes from," so without knowing. I kind of wanted to give that same feeling to people, the whole shock, not shock factor, but the whole wow factor of like, "Oh, that's where that's from."
Hmm. I like it. Your Sampleology Philadelphia International Records chapter release from 2008 included tracks from Jay-Z, Brand Nubian, the OJs, Teddy Pendergrass. How did you go about putting together that track list?
And it invited me to Philly. So I went to the studio, Philadelphia International Studios. I got to meet some of the head engineers, some of the artists and whatnot, like the classical guys. And Mr. Gamble even did like the whole, he did the intro, outro for me and everything. And it basically just gave me access to the whole catalog and to do whatever you want to do. That was it. It was really the Sony VP AE. I should give him props. That's Anthony Ellis. He really wanted to just do a project because we ended up turning it into a mixtape and we pressed up like 30,000 copies. And so that was like the first time I got full I started getting a nationwide response out of stuff, which was kind of cool. Off of a mixtape,
Yeah, it was quite the eclectic mix. So
it was fun to make. It was a lot of fun to make.
You've crafted so many memorable Sampleology mixes from big names in hip hop like Biggie, Dilla, Common, Kanye West. Do you have any favorites?
I mean, no real favorites. It's just at the time I just kind of whoever excited me, I would go into the next mix. In my computer, I have like at least 50 sample folders of all specific people. I just thought, what would work in this time frame? So I never even made the mixes. I wanted them ready just in case, because I would do them live, and I thought, why not do it? So I really like the Dilla one, though. Honestly.
Yeah.
Never mind you.
Right. How do you go about selecting whose body of work you choose to dig into?
I guess really whatever producers or artists I really respect or admire, and I just really want to delve into. I never made an Oz one, which would have been nice, but I guess it's just the feeling at the time.
Never too late.
Yeah, that's true. Never too late. I think I'd rather do like official ones now, like with the label one. So I pitched a few here and there. So you never know. Still time for them, because those mixes live on. I always wanted to make a mix that wasn't like time sensitive. It wasn't about like playing the hottest records that month or that year. I just wanted something that would live. Notice even when I checked it down.
Right. Oh yeah, timeless. Well, it's just like the artists, the mixes would be timeless. That makes sense. In 2012, you broke down Dilla's sample selection in Commons, the movement for YG's Bling 47 break series. How and when did you discover Dilla's music?
Dilla. Shout out to YG, by the way. He's doing great things in Detroit.
Yes.
How did I think it was the Slum Village Volume 1. I'd already heard of the Uma and stuff, but I don't think I was paying attention. And when I kept hearing the name JD, I was like, there's no way this is Jermaine Dupri. Right? And so I figured it out. And then as time grew on, I just really just got into it. And I think Make This Money by Slum was the first record. And then also Common's like Water for Chocolate. So maybe I was 98 or something. That's when I was heavy. And I just started doing a lot of research, and then that's it. Sky's the limit.
Nice. Were you one of the people who heard his music but didn't really know it was him for a while, or as soon as you heard it, you're like, I need to know whose production that is?
When I heard Get This Money, I was like, who did this? I gotta know.
Yeah.
It's like now, like the way I organize music now, it's like every way you could think of. Producers, years.
Oh, Parlé, you're breaking up a little bit. Can you hear me okay?
What was the last thing you got? Was it
I heard Sorry, I hear you now.
Should I do it? Is it the headphones that's giving the issue, or should I talk directly on the phone? Or
Well, right now I can see and hear
okay,
you perfectly, but a second ago
okay,
the video was a little bit muffled, but
okay.
now you're good. Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries.
So not even a month later, you were on the bill for the 2015 Brooklyn Hip Hop Festival finale concert, along with other artists including Common, Mobb Deep, Lion Babe, DJ Rob Swift. I was there. I remember that day well.
Oh, nice.
When did you become a resident DJ of that festival?
I don't remember exactly what year. Probably a couple of years prior to that. The folks who organized it ended up becoming really good friends. I know that was like Alma and Wes Jackson, and they were real good people who we just vibed. I think what happened was I did an after party for them at Southpaw, and when I DJed,
Rest in peace.
yes, rest in peace, Southpaw. When I did that party, the president of the festival came up to me and said, "You're going to be our DJ." He liked it, so that's how it worked.
Right.
So I guess it was good timing, or maybe I was on the zone that day.
Right. Would Wes be considered the president, or is it?
Yeah, it was Wes. It was Wes. It was my guy, you know. I didn't know him at the time, so yeah, he's a good guy. But you know, people come up to you all the time at clubs telling you what they want to do.
Yeah.
And
you're like, who are you? Yeah.
Yeah, I just say okay to everything, like sure. But he was legit.
That's a
and
good
helped
way
me
to
out
do
a
it.
lot because I just got to New York at the time, so I was a newbie here, so it really helped me like in
Well,
terms
you
of
proved
like.
yourself real quick.
Well, I mean that's what's up. Thanks.
That year, you founded Up to Par Audio, a sound and production company that has served as the go-to source for many DJs, hotels, restaurants, and nightclubs. What inspired you to put a company like this together?
Probably just I saw a need in the market. A lot of people were hitting me up asking about like what sound people I use, and when I would recommend companies, they wouldn't like even respect the DJ because I guess they were former like rockers. They were more into like live bands. And one summer, somebody like, I think I got hit up like 6 times in 1 week. And I just kind of was like, you know, I think I'm gonna just do this myself. And that's really what happened. I just bought the gear and hired a couple people, and then boom, next thing you know, that's how I went.
No longer the middleman.
Yeah.
Smart.
And I knew it'd be like, it was like a DJ company for DJs. So everybody I hire is engineers or DJs. It's not like people who don't know how to, because I would do these big ass gigs and they didn't even know how to put our equipment together. Like I really saw like DJs were getting neglected. So, I mean, it's a little different now, but you know, the last 20 years has been a big shift. Yeah.
In 2016, you released the Memorial Day Sampleology mixtape in conjunction with OK Player's annual Summer Stage Central Park concert. Was this the first year you were included on the City Parks Foundation event lineup?
I had done Summer Stage before. We did like a Bronx uptown party, like block party. But I think with Summer Stage you can only do it once a year, I think. And then so maybe a year or two later they invited me back at Central Park, which was real nice. I got the headliner was Sammande and We Are King, the trio. And that was a fun event. And shout out to OK Player, that was Dan and Jenny at the time who reached out to me. And so they just wanted to do a little mixtape collaboration since Sampleology was getting a lot of love on the blogs and stuff like that. And so we just kind of did like a barbecue style mix, including Sammande, of course. Yeah, because Sammande was the headline. Yeah. So we made a Sammande Sampleology for the first half. And the second half was just kind of like OK Player related artists. And that was cool. I got a lot of love off that.
That's all that matters.
Well, yeah.
You headlined the Budweiser Live FIFA World Cup final viewing experience in 2018. You must have a crazy story or two from that day with all those crazed fans who must have been drunk by 10 a.m.
No, I think everybody was drunk by 10 a.m. But I mean, it was all Budweiser, but it was a real nice, it was a cool ass event because I got to play it was like all high energy EDM world sound, you know, like it would sound bad on paper, but it was dope. And Charlie XCX was the headliner, who's like a big pop name. And it was just like a high energy night. Everyone was drinking since like 9 a.m. And you know how soccer fans are. But it was just good vibes, good energy. And I think I might have played like 10 hours that day. But it was good. No hip hop, which is crazy. I mean, well, hip hop remixes, that still got to be me. But it would just be high energy, like, you know, fun stuff.
Did they kind of dictate what you played?
No, I think they just, when they say, it's like they want it to feel like a soccer stadium. And they're like, we want high energy, but we want it to kind of feature like international sounds. So it could be remixes of like pop tunes from here, but they just
Right.
kind of wanted to feel inclusive and something that,
Like
and
recognizable.
yeah, and some I would
Mhm.
play like, I mean, I've done parties for those crowds too, so I kind of knew like just keep it fun, and it's like a festival.
Right. Nice. You've been part of the lineup at several Donuts Are Forever events for more than a decade. How did you originally get involved with Rare Form and the team?
Rare Form, there's a good people over there, good people like Shinobi, Tara, Eric, a few other folks. D-Funk, of course. I think you had Tara a few weeks ago, right? Yeah. Rare Form. I started with Donuts. Oh, I know. Donuts 2 was House Shoes, and Fonte was hosting, and I wasn't on the bill. I didn't even know Rare Form, but I really wanted to, and I kept emailing Derek and a bunch of people. No one would respond to me. So but I'd already finished the J Dilla sample that same year.
Mm-hmm.
So I pressed up a bunch, and I just showed up, and I just started giving them to people and stuff like. I just kind of like guerrilla style it, just because I'd been doing the street team stuff in DC, so that's just how we.
You know how
Whatever.
to
So
do
I
it.
just marketed.
Mm-hmm.
I marketed myself the same way. I caught a little grief there because they didn't know me and they thought I was like selling mixes. So it almost was a situation. But that's how I met Derek and everybody. And at first they're like, "Who's this dude?" And then I'm glad it did because Fonte ended up bigging up the mix on stage. And then like a few weeks later, Derek hit me up and said, "I like the mix. We want you to be involved with the next Donuts." And boom. So it worked out.
Amazing.
If I didn't show up, who knows what would have happened.
I didn't make the first two. I didn't start going till the third one. So.
Oh yeah, that was my first one.
Yeah.
I think I did about a couple after. I mean, they kept me on for a good amount. So
yeah, I've seen you play there a lot.
nice.
Including this one. I think
That's that's the Naturel shirt.
I think it's
shirt's
8. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was a fun. Is that Jazzy Jeff night?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that was
one of the best sets I've seen was his.
Yes, Jazzy Jeff, he's amazing. I tell people to this day, you got to see Jeff live. He's that's the first time I think I ever worked with him, and he was like gave me like kind words and like it was just it was a great night. Period.
Him and Prince Paul.
Yes, Prince Paul's the man. He's the man. I worked with him a few times actually. We do like art stuff and stuff, but he's a good guy too.
Oh right, because of the whole thing I'll get to in a little bit. Do you have any favorite shows or moments from the last 14 years of Donuts?
No, it's too. Of Donuts? Oh, nah, not even. I mean, honestly, I just love them all. It's the one time I feel like everyone's in sync. It's just kind of like a church experience, not in a bad way. Just like it's like we're all vibing, Even when I don't know. I remember there was a DJ. I think it was Jay who did the first hour. He started it. He just did a whole hour instrumentals. That would never work nowhere. But if people were in the zone, it's just a nice way to like get us right. And it just I love it. It's a great party.
Yeah, that's how I get people to that party because I'm like, it's not like a concert. It's just you're there to listen to Dilla. It's not like anyone.
Yeah. I wish that like it's weird because with a stage, people are like conditioned to look up, but I'm sure the DJs wouldn't even care if they looked at us. It's really about like just the vibe. A whole day is just zoning out.
I think that's why I like it at Brooklyn Bowl so much because of how it's set up. Like you can go wherever.
Yeah, and they're good people to work with too.
Yeah. You've been invited to play Spike Lee's block party, Hillary Clinton's nomination party, New York Times holiday party. How do these crowds compare to those you've experienced at clubs across the country over the years?
I mean, you just kind of have to read your audience, I guess. I mean, corporate parties are corporate parties. You got to play. I say when you do a corporate party, you pay to the person that's paying you.
Right.
But when you're doing for the block party for Spike Lee, that was one of my favorite events ever. Because I also got the DJ alongside some friends and heroes, and it was like Spinner, Scratch, Mick, Child. It was a great, and plus like all the surprise people that showed up, like Chappelle, Public Enemy performed, Mos Def performed, or Yasin. A couple more, I'm forgetting who else. But my point, it was all a surprise. We didn't because nothing was announced.
Right.
But it was something like that is dope. A lot of fun. But you just play to the crowd. The Hillary Clinton stuff was a huge blessing for me because that was the same year. So like anytime I could show my range and not just be seen as one type of person, it always helps out.
Exactly. And also just over a year ago, you, Mick, and Phil Reese were tapped to DJ the private opening of the Good Luck Dry Cleaners Speakeasy Art Gallery Bowery location. And you also DJ'd the secret Good Luck Dry Cleaners Gallery opening hosted by Prince Paul, who we spoke about, at the
Right.
end of 2018. Are you an art enthusiast at all?
Yeah, I dig art. I dig art a lot. I dig street art mainly. I'm not like a huge. I'm just a fan of it. So anytime I can be
Mhm.
involved, sometimes I'll DJ art battles. But I mean, galleries I'll just go on my own just to go visit. I'll
Mhm.
buy prints, art figures. I could see like the cars right up there. But like not on some hipster. I mean, some hype beast thing. But I like street art. Period. So I'll get stuff if it speaks to me. And my man Eric P, he's real big in that world, so he helps me learn stuff.
Nice. Were you ever into graffiti?
No, no, not personally. No,
Okay.
not personally. But I always enjoyed. I mean, obviously all the four elements, but I just enjoyed it as a consumer, just as a fan. So
Right.
anytime I can be involved, I'm
Same.
down.
What was the last party you played before the pandemic hit last year?
So,
Remember?
I'm guessing probably my residency at Bathtub Gym, which is like this chill like speakeasy lounge and meatpacking, where I get to just play whatever I want to play. So that's why I like it. That's
Nice.
probably the last thing I did.
Um, why did you name your Twitch stream Bulldog Alley?
Oh, that it's just because that's the name of where I went to Georgetown. That's just where all the Hoyas. That's where we partied at.
Hmm.
The whole night started as like a reunion night for like alumni.
Hmm.
That's really how it started. So
I
that's
like
just
it.
like that's all that is. Nothing special or deep.
Just- maybe the fans want to know.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I mean, I like it's all it's cool.
I get it.
I'm cool to chatting,
I know. You
Interviews aren't
performed.
usually my thing. But I mean,
I
you're
know.
cool people.
That's
Yeah,
why I
so
appreciate you doing this.
yeah, I don't mind at all. It's all good.
You've performed for crowds across the U.S. as well as across the pond in countries including South Africa, Germany, Turkey. How have you been working to bring the same kind of vibe to your online streams?
I guess with Twitch, the beauty of it is you can just do whatever you want. You label it. I mean, I love how you can use visuals and whatnot and multimedia stuff to make it more fun.
Right.
So I think every time I get on, it's different. Sometimes it's new soul R&B, and sometimes it's Afro house, and sometimes it's old school hip hop. But I think people are okay. We're like in a mental space where everyone's just kind of at home, chilling. And I
Hmm.
think anytime you can get something different or fun or different experience, why not? Especially if it's just like in the palm of your hand or your computer. So
Right, especially because like everyone's on the same playing field right now. So whatever you
yeah,
can do to
yeah,
differentiate yourself.
yeah. And to me, it's more not that you get bored with DJing, but sometimes you just want to push yourself. And when
Hmm.
I'm playing with those real audiences in real life, I don't even know how they're gonna respond. So it's like a
Right,
challenge. So you almost get a high off of like figuring it out.
I can see that. You released Shine, a remix of Mos Def Yasin Bey's classic track Umi Says last March. What was the response like to that
That's pretty
release?
cool. I got more of a response from DJs.
Hmm.
A lot of them played it or wanted to play it or whatever, so that's cool. But also, everything was closed, so it's not like you could play it out in the club. But it is one of the records I made. I was very happy and proud to make it. That I got a lot of response from people I didn't know and did know, so that was cool. And so I ended up putting it on Bandcamp because usually I put everything on SoundCloud or something just for
Hmm.
free, just to put it out there.
Yeah,
You know.
I feel like Bandcamp's like the place to be now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good way to like I guess legitimize your project, but also just to have it in a home where people could find it.
Right, and like in one place, yeah.
Hmm.
Your beat tape Flower Theater dropped in September of last year. How did recording this one compare to those you've put together in the past?
Well, this is the first time we did a full length thing project, which is cool.
Hmm.
And the Flower Theater is just an ode to where I grew up, Silver Spring. Uh, and it was just basically a beat tape, but I wanted to make it a little bit more. So we just kind of incorporated like movie quotes and things and a couple of remixes, and the response was good on that too. I just wanted something that people could hear and enjoy, but also artists could hear if they also wanted to like work and do more things. Since that's been my focus for the last couple of years, anyhow, more
Nice,
production-based projects.
nice. How did you become involved with the DJ Jazzy Jeff and Mix Summertime 2020 mixtape?
Um, I don't know if it was around the same time I put out that beat tape, but basically, Mick is my guy. I mean, Jeff had met, of course, he's good people, but Mick
Right.
is my guy. And I think I may have even, like, he may have told me, oh, I'm working on Summertime right now. And I was like, oh, you got here. I just gave him a couple remixes. Most of them didn't make it, but there was a beat he liked. So we ended up playing around with it. And then he was like, oh, also I got another idea. So we were just kind of going back and forth on ideas. And once he told me like, oh, you remember that Robert Glasper version of Stakes is High? I was like, oh, I already know where you're going with it. So we recorded his son doing the hook, and then I had the acapella, and I just kind of like flipped it around, chopped it up a little, and we just had fun with it.
How old is his son now?
Oh my God. I mean, I don't think he's 6 yet, but he might be close.
Oh my God, I remember when he was born.
Yeah, I mean, you can see him grow up on Mixed Page. That's via Instagram. So
That's
even when you don't get to see people, you can still, connect.
Yeah, that's crazy. You appeared on the Sway in the Morning show last week. Any highlights you can share from that experience?
Oh, that was fun. Sway and the whole family. I mean, the whole crew are like family.
I was gonna say you've known him for a while, right?
Yeah, very, very much. Thanks to like Wonder and DB, and like, but Heather B, Tracy are all like peoples, and so they invite me back usually at least once a year. So I think it was just good timing, essentially. So it was always fun to do a mix,
And it was in person?
No, not this one. Usually it is, but this one, because the way they're doing the studios were like remote locations and stuff. This one we got to I just submitted.
Yeah, I was trying to do research to see if it was or not, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I hope I'm not like telling no secrets or nothing. I assume people know. Like, I think they even videotape it remotely. So, I don't think anything.
I only heard the audio.
Yeah, I think.
Okay. You also celebrated the Queen of Hip Hop's 50th birthday with a tribute on Twitch. When's the first time you remember hearing Mary J. Blige?
Mary J. Blige, probably high school, or probably was the first, not for one of the other. Well, I mean, obviously the first album. I think My Life was the CD that I would keep on repeat all day. And My Life and Faith, her debut, I guess. I mean, it was the Diddy era, But like for R&B, Diddy really had it locked, And for me, it really resonated. So I would keep those 2 CDs on repeat all day. Like literally, I would go to sleep and wake up and still be playing. So.
Nice. Last June, you joined Mick on IG Live for the Mix for Change fundraiser challenge with an all Dilla hour-long set with proceeds to benefit the Bail Project. What did it mean to you to help promote the cause, which aimed to help those who took to the streets in protest of George Floyd's murder and countless other instances of police brutality?
Well, the Mix for Change project was a real cool endeavor where everyone kind of chipped in, donated our time and our services, and the money went directly to the causes, like no middleman. And because of IG, you can just link your actual charity. It worked out real well. And we raised a pretty decent amount. I mean, I know the whole overall, they raised a great amount. I know, like, personally for me that day, it was fun just to kind of like, just rock out, do your own thing and do something good for people.
Nice. Well, Parlé, I really appreciate you taking the time. Is there anything else that you want to add or promote?
Nah, this was cool. Thanks for having me. I'm always happy to, chat with like-minded people and whatnot.
I don't know if you remember, but we met at Daniel Charnas's Dilla.
Oh yeah, at NYU. Yeah, with Dilla's mom was there, right? Yeah, that was a cool day. Like Dan had hit me up. How did I meet? Oh yeah, Dan lives in my neighborhood. I live in Harlem, and he hit me up for some like sound stuff, and it just kind of. I think really it was Wajid's video that really helped, And so we realized we had mutual friends and whatnot. And then one day he's like, oh, I got Miles Dukes coming in. You want to come sit in on the class and watch? And that's how it worked out. So that was a cool day to like, just to be in the classroom and just kind of hang out and see the stories and whatnot. Yeah, I remember that was a fun day.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, good man. Good book
I
too.
I appreciate you taking the time. Hopefully I'll see you out sometime soon.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate this. Looking forward to seeing more interviews and projects and content that you have. It's a cool thing you're doing.
It's only thing keeping me busy right now.
No, it's dope. You're creating like a catalog of like folks, producers and DJs and MCs, and like this could live on. This will be like your thing, your time capsule. I've been doing the interview thing since 2009. I've just never done it in a video since. It's always been written. So it's always
a lot of the people I've interviewed on camera have been people I've interviewed in the past. So
Gotcha. Well, keep it up. It's dope.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Word. Thank you.
Have a great night, Parley. Thanks.
All right. I'll talk to you.
Peace.
All right, bye.